Hey you guys, it's your girl Milfy J. Welcome to my channel and my first video. I'm super excited. Thank you for joining me. Props out to Labyrinth and Zendaya for our intro song for today. I definitely would like suggestions in the comments below if any songs you guys want to hear me start out with. I am a big music head. But I love that song, especially because it is ringing out our season 2 finale of Euphoria. For those of you who do not know me, or this first time obviously seeing me on this channel, Euphoria is obviously the iconic show that has taken internet and social media and everything by storm. And of course, I am a fangirl. So we are actually reviewing slash ranting, if you know me and you actually follow me on other platforms of social media under Milfy J, and that's with 2 Y's, under the Milfy, that is, of course, that we are going to digest and break down what happened in this season 2 finale. And my God, there is a lot to digest. So obviously, we left last episode with this amazing form of artwork with Lexi's play. And let's just say, chef's kiss. She really went in with 1,000 degree of like, no filter, unadulterated. This is what's happening from her perspective. And I'm living for it. I'm living for it because there's just there's no hold bars back. And even though we all know she was worried about how it would come off to certain people, she still put it out there, and it's an amazing show. Like, it's amazing play. And of course, we have some people that don't quite agree with how this play is started or how it's going. As we left the last episode, before the finale, we saw Cassie looking rather serial killer, right? In the window there of that auditorium door. So it definitely escalated, going crazy, literally a 0 to 1,000 energy, as she, I guess, embodied her inner Maddie or just any inner like psycho. I think it was more of like a Carrie the Rage kind of self. She just kind of became somebody else that wasn't herself. All because, as we saw in the previous episode, Nate broke up with her. And I put air quotes around broke up with her. Which then goes from there, from her losing her mind, causing a complete embarrassment in front of her sister, her mother, and in front of this live audience, because it's a play. People are watching. And it just snowballs from there to the most epic, and I do mean the most epic dynamic fight that we've been waiting for all season, if you are truly a fan. I have been waiting for Cass to get this ass whooping, and I'm gonna be dead serious about it. I've been waiting for this ass whooping since first episode of season 2. Like many of you probably have been as well. And when I say Maddie came to play, She said, I don't had enough. You out here tripping. I'm at my tipping point. It was a wrap. I was literally, and I do mean literally, screaming at my TV, like, get her, girl, get her, because she just deserved it, okay? And just props out to Maddie, okay? Alexa, just, yes, okay? When she goes to beat your behind, she goes in 100%, okay? Sis dragged her all from the auditorium through the hallways, through sister's face into the wall, okay? She is not one to mess with, not one to be played with, okay? She takes this to 100% that you try me, now you're gonna, have those repercussions of what happens when you try me. So there was that ultimate fight that everybody's been waiting for. That was my highlight, one of my biggest highlights. Obviously, you have that background story, and we see a lot of Rue's growth in this episode, that she is sober. Has been a little bit sober here for a little time here, and we ultimately discovered that she, for the rest of that year, was sober. But you just get these little snippets of her around Jewel and Elliot, as we've seen in previous episode, that there's, they don't say it out loud, but we all know that they smashed, okay? And just the dynamic of Elliot and Rue's relationship. You know, it was very complicated. It's actually kind of really weird to me, be considering Elliot came into their friendship as just a friendship, but then he liked Rue, and then next thing you know, he likes Jules. All because Rue, well, was subsequently becoming more high than he was. So it was actually sad, you know, kind of like ending or kind of like a pause on their friendship, because I think they could have been really good friends, but he ultimately really messed up. Like, you mess with her girlfriend, there's no coming back from that. So there is that, and then you see like these snippets of Jewel trying to talk to her, and you know, ultimately Jewel and her having a side conversation, I would say, towards the end of the play, but it's not so much of a side conversation, considering Jules is talking at her, and Rue, being the person of healing, simply gives her a kiss on the forehead and leaves. Because there's so much, if it was me, baby, there would have been too much. They wouldn't have to drag me out of there. It would have been another fight in there, because there was a lot to be said to Jules if I was Rue, personally, myself. But the way she handled it was very mature. I really like that they showed her growth as a person. So much so in that way, where she just simply walks away. Because there is no, like I said with Elliot, there's no going back. You can't take away the things that were said. Even if she wanted her to forgive her for how things transpired, there is a lot of forgiveness that need to be done on Rue's part for Jules, because it's very much true. Jules is a person just loves to be loved, and unfortunately that has its toxic hang on when it comes to their relationship, because the minute that she feels unloved, she goes seeking that attention and love from someone else, very much like another character we know, aka Cassie. Cassie, honestly, at this point, I feel like it's a character that is, I would say, synonymous with unknown. She just doesn't know herself, and she's constantly trying to become somebody else, the perfect girlfriend, but not quite the perfect girlfriend, because she'll cheat on her boyfriend. And then she'll tell the person she's cheating with, oh, I can't have a boyfriend. Well, you knew you had a boyfriend when you did this. And then she has to become the perfect best friend, but then betray said friendship right after that. So it's just kind of, she's an enigma. She never really knows what she's doing. And she's very easily swayed by the people around her, all under this constant chase for love that she did not get from her, I would say, her parents, from her father. So she's always constantly running after the next form, like a high, like an addict almost, to love, and causing so to change herself, becoming someone that she's not each and every time, which in this case is a Maddie lookalike. And it was actually a pivotal point for me when we get to that bathroom scene, after you see that she clearly dragged her ass through this school, because her hair and whole situation is messed up, that she says, you know, Nate broke up with me. And the way, I think it was so criminal and such a beautiful nuance, is that Maddie smiled at her. Like, it's just going to be like, this is how it starts. Literally, that's what she said. This is how it starts. Like, it's the same thing they went through. She been where she is, and she is now officially taken her place in that toxic relationship that is the only relationship Nate knows how to have, which is, or a relationship you can only have with Nate Jacobs, which is toxic because he has his own issues, you know, stemming from his relationship with his father, and the way that he thinks, the way he handles things. Because let's be honest, bro's a sociopath. There's no if, buts about it. Straight up sociopath. And I even feel bad for him a little bit, because his dad definitely broke him mentally to make him this way. There's not much you can kind of go back. It's too far done. The damage is there. And I feel bad for him in that way, but the way he chose to handle things is just too much. Bro is like extra times 1,000. He's doing too much all the time. And it just shows that this vicious cycle that is going to continue. You know, I know we don't get much from that situation after that fight, other than her stating that to her, but you just know that, like, look, this is what happens when you're with him. This is what you wanted. This is now how it's going to keep going for however long that they're together now, because that's what it's like to be her. And I just feel that it was beautiful, just like such a great way to have like a full circle realization between Maddie and Cassie. And last but not least, we hit our last point here, which is probably the one everyone is on bait, and I was personally on my seat for, is the Fesco, Ashtray, Faye situation. And try not to tear up thinking about it, but as we ultimately see that, true to his name, Ashtray went out like a straight gangster. And even though we did not quite see how things fully ended for Ashtray, but we have a general idea. I want to give half props to Faye and half not props, because sis had plenty of time to tell Ashtray or Fesco what the heck happened. Her boyfriend came over before that, told her a couple days. She had plenty of time to tell them, like, what the heck is going on. They could have not been home that day if she had just said something, not to let him in, anything. She wasted time, and I understand that she does ultimately care for Fesco. Like, a lot of, rumors out there that she likes him because he treats her better than her actual boyfriend does. Not quite sure about that one, but I know she cares about him to a point, or she wouldn't have done what she did. Obviously showing up, telling him to be quiet, blatantly pointing out that this conversation about Lori killing Mouse, start basically having on this recording that they didn't do it, which would have been golden, a great thing that had happened, because ultimately if they had gotten arrested, say if Ashtray hadn't did what he did, they would have had no proof, because there were no drugs in that house, because Bez moved his stash. All they would have now is a recording of Faye and the boyfriend, got his name, God, I know it starts with a C, so sorry, fighting, talking about how Lori had Mouse murdered. They would have been golden. They would have had nothing they could have used against them, but of course Ashtray is Ashtray. Whenever he feels like his brother needs his defense, or that something shady is going on, he is going to react every single time. He ceases to fail us. But it really was like a truly, gangster moment is basically what I call it, because bro was not going down without a fight. He taking out the police, he taking everybody out, he had all the guns, he in the tub, like wop 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 wop. Like it was a true gangster moment if I ever seen one. It was like some Malibu's Most Wanted King Kong, ain't got nothing on me kind of stuff right there. And it was sad. I will miss him. I loved Ashtray's character. Obviously, what does this mean for Fesco from this point? Because he made it look like he killed the boyfriend, and now with Ashtray dead, it's just so much unspoken answers and unanswered questions. Because one, we know Lexi does not know where Fesco is. Doesn't know any of this. No one knows any of this, and what the repercussions of this will look like in a wave, on top of the realization of Nate, also, selling his dad out to the cops, what that will look like for him and his family, considering he's got a large base of businesses in that city or that town. So it's just a lot of questions. What's the next step for Rue? How are things going to pan out from this point? So it's a lot of things that, a lot of questions answered, but also unanswered, which I guess would keep us on our bait and feed and just waiting for season 3, which I hear, unfortunately, will not be until 2024. So in the meantime, folks, I definitely would recommend checking out Euphoria's soundtrack. As I played that first song, I'm Tired. Love it. And obviously, a lot of people have heard their main song, the other song by Zendaya and Labyrinth that everyone loves as well. Love All of Us, sorry. So definitely check both of those out. They're really good. And both are on Apple Music if you're an iPhone user. But this is me signing off. Obviously, it's my first video, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Please write in your comments any suggestions for next time, as well as anything you want me to react to. I definitely am an open mind. I love seeing new things, new shows, whether it's an episode or a movie. I will definitely check it out. So definitely put your suggestions in the comments. And once again, guys, don't forget, put those comments for songs you want to hear for my next intro. I am a big music head. I definitely want to tune in. So thanks for joining me tonight. I hope to talk to you guys soon in my next reaction.